Now I have. We're unmuted now because the intro's going, and we can do that.
I know that's right.
America's coming for you with next-gen warfare, dude.
Are they coming with me too?
Dude, that'd be a great time. Be a great time. Welcome to Smartly Uneducated, everybody. I'm your lovely host, Ben.
And
I'm joined by this guy,
as per usual,
the co-host.
my name's Evan. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Talking to your mic, dude. You're so quiet.
Thank you for joining us today in another lovely episode brought to you by, well, just about me.
Yeah.
And Ben here, of course. But
Yeah.
but
I know we do news on the hour, right? We always do news right now.
Yes.
Like right at the beginning for like a few minutes. But I want to say to anyone who's already tuned in right now, tonight's episode I am fucking excited about because we're going to be talking about the Golden Dome and 6th gen war, technology.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It's really cool shit,
It's
actually.
fucking awesome.
The future of warfare and the future of technology is looking really bright and futuristic, as you would
Dude,
say,
I love
right?
that. I love how you put that into a sentence. Because it's like, normally when you think of warfare and like the future of war, it's like, oh, more death and stuff. You're like, no, dude, this is looking bright. Because they're all going to be dead.
Exactly.
We're going to be alive.
It's looking very UFO and sci-fi-esque, which is fucking awesome. Finally, they're rolling out the new tech for the world to see that we've all been preaching about and known about for a very, very long time. But before we get into that, I don't really have any news stories to bring to us this week that isn't just like the world's falling apart.
I have some news stuff, but I only have one.
And that China sent a laser beam from space to Earth that was visible in broad daylight, which is cool for its own right. And that they found out that the U.S. Air Force is able to create plasma orbs off of their jet tips to shoot them out.
Man,
That's cool as hell.
shooting out the tips, dude.
But as we all know, AI has taken over our life and our world and everything that we do. And I sleep with my phone in the same room as me. And it can hear me think, it can hear me have night terrors, it can hear me talk in my sleep. I have recently been getting a lot of ads for CPAP machines and sleep apnea. And I didn't think that I would have sleep apnea. I didn't think I'd be one of those guys.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Are you sure about that, dude? But I have been getting a lot of AI filtered ads on YouTube and my social medias and just in general about buying CPAP machines. And I was like, whatever. It's just must be some weird thing. I'm getting older and I'm hanging out with older people. It might just be based off of them. They're conversing and talking. But then I got woken up last night by my lovely wife. And she said, she's like, what the fuck was that? Wait, what the hell was that?
What was that? dude.
Hold on.
Your
I'm
wife-
walking in. Hey, she's like, hey, what the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that? Dude, now you got me all fucked
I
up.
don't know, dude.
What's wrong with you?
But she was like, what was that? Like, what happened to you just now? And I freaked out. I was like, what do you mean what happened to me? It's like, you choked on air three times.
Choked on air. That's tight.
So maybe, just maybe, my phone is hearing me have sleep apnea, breathing problems, and it's like, hey, you idiot, go buy these new high-tech CPAP machines.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
I haven't done it yet.
So
That's good.
If I
That's
die
good.
in my sleep, you all know why.
If I die in my sleep, you know why. That's fair. Well, I will say this. I only have one piece of kind of like news to give, and then I got nothing else, and I was going to jump into like the Golden Dome and all that fun stuff. Oh, I clicked the button, I thought. Anyways, so this has to do with any Texans around. So Senate Bill SB3.
Yeah. I know all about SB3.
Yep. So Texas is they're trying to ban anything that has THC.
Yep.
That's all it is, which is bullshit. I think that's utter bullshit. Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's so many things with it, but right now, if what's holding it on is the governor has to sign off on it.
Mm-hmm.
Has not been signed off on yet, and he's a freaking paraplegic. So I tell you right now, if he signs on it, I hope the rest of them becomes paraplegic because goddamn, you should know better.
You mean full pelagic?
Yes. Full. You never go full retard.
You never go full pelagic, dude.
But yeah, so basically, they're going to ban all of it. All of it. And it will be a Class A felony. Did you hear about it?
I did hear about this.
It will be a Class A felony if you get busted with THC, like anything, like even if it's like a seed. Like you're facing like a serious
felony crimes,
like a real felony right off the get-go. And it's just like, what the fuck?
The thought that I have with the
bullshit.
SB3 banning of all THC products comes to my brain because I think of it being a leeway into them being like, it's banned from being mailed to your house. It's banned if you have it.
That's in it.
Unless you buy it from Texas. Now it's legal to buy in Texas. I think that is what is going to come from it. They're like, all of these people in Texas are buying weed from somewhere else in the country and having it here. Why are we losing all this money?
Well, make it legal and you'd start making
So
the money.
I think that's what the SB3 is going to do, right? They're going to ban it.
I don't know.
And then they're going to say, but if you buy it in Texas, it's fine. It's now legal. I think that's what's going to happen.
I don't know. I think it's interesting because like the left-leaning politicians on the whole deal, they who have signed, are in favor of this, they have been like, they're the ones who are like pro weed in every other fucking state, but all of a sudden they're like not wanting to support it here. And it makes weird because like, it's weird because you have more there's a bunch of more Republicans that from the research I was doing showing that they were in favor of like, no, let it be legal.
The script has flipped.
It's very weird. I think, I think there's something more behind that, and that's a conspiracy part of my brain.
I think it's
I'm going to leave it somewhere else for right now. I'm not going to bring it up right now.
I think it's the money aspect because they're banning it because all the money's going out of Texas, and then they're going to say, but if you buy Texas owned, you're not going to get in trouble or something along those sorts. They're trying to find some sort of reason for them to make a sort of legislative rule to make it legal if you have it in Texas.
Yeah,
that's where my brain goes. That's typically what happens, right? They ban, say, catalytic converters, then they find a new way to get catalytic converters.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
I
don't know.
I think it's going to be bad if they do pass it right away, but then they're going to find a new way to then have it again.
Yeah. So, do you have any other news?
No, I got no news.
Cool. Well, you want to jump into the Golden Dome?
Yeah, dude.
Cool. That's tight. That's tight. When Evan and I were discussing what we were going to do, right? Like, what topic are we doing this episode and all this stuff? Originally, it was kind of like 3 separate ideas, and we were going to do the Golden Dome kind of on its own, potentially, and 6th Gen Warfare on its own, but at the same time, it all goes together.
It does.
So it's like, fuck it.
Because it's part of the
All
new
one,
generation technology in general, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they're trying to bring us into the next iteration of technology, not necessarily warfare in its own right, but usually it goes, technology is created, they use it for war and for military gain, and then we all get from that as well afterward.
If anyone who's listening right now does not know what the Golden Dome is necessarily, it is a multi-layered missile defense system. So basically think Iron Dome that Israel has.
Okay, so all of my research,
way better.
All of my research is wrong. Then I was looking up a lot of Outback Steakhouse Onion Dome.
Hell yeah, dude.
Shit.
Yeah, that's tight. That's tight. Now I'm hungry. Man, there's no food in here, everybody. We got plenty of beer though. That's all right though. Got plenty of beer.
Yeah, beer has calories, right? You don't need to eat.
It's got a lot of calories. Enough that if you work out hard enough, you can drink and never worry about a thing.
That's exactly right. It gives you all your carbs you'll ever need.
You got to be on the treadmill while you're drinking.
Now we're talking,
yeah,
dude.
Dude.
That's a great way to get some kidney stones, baby.
Yeah, so the Golden Dome is basically, it's just a multi-layered missile defense system, and basically it's designed to shield the United States from advanced missile threats, including ballistic, cruise, and hypersonic missiles. The system draws this is basically like an inspiration from Israel's Iron Dome. But the thing is, I think it's already been implemented for a while. You don't just announce something saying like, yeah, we're gonna put something in place up to this.
Well,
What if you're already exposing that you're already vulnerable
I don't
to
know.
some degree?
I don't know if you
I
watched
don't
the
know. I
press
don't know.
conference whenever they announced it, but they had the Space Force lieutenant or colonel or whatever that he was,
The Colonel
and he said something along the lines of, "We are excited to finally announce this."
means they already doing it, man.
So yeah,
You gotta listen to the wordplay.
yeah, he was like,
You know?
we are proud to finally announce that we have the Golden Dome." Come on, like, if you don't think that we didn't have the best technology to defend ourselves, we wouldn't be announcing it.
Yeah,
Uh,
no crap.
Now that there's like a war scare going on in the world, they're going to bring it to light and be like, "Don't worry, America, we're fine. We're gonna be
Yeah.
okay."
But
And now people are wanting to join the American treaties that our now president is creating for protection using the Golden Dome.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably because they're worried they might get wiped off the
We
map.
got we got the gold card, we got the gold dome. What's next that's gonna be gold?
Gold pubes, dude.
Oh, dude, way ahead of you, big dog.
Watch out for the Anunnaki. They're coming for your pubes.
I mean, they already announced that they can turn lead into gold. I think we talked about that briefly last week. So if they're creating so much gold, it devalues the need for it entirely. And the Anunnaki are now able to come back and take our manufactured gold for power.
Freaking Anunnaki, guys. You got to watch out. Cover your pubes. Watch out for them aliens. They're coming back for your gold pubes. You don't even know they're gold. Sometimes they look a little dark, but they got some gold.
They're gonna take your butt hair, your pube hair, your back hair, be like, we can synthesize this into gold. That's what they sound like, right?
According to my calculation.
We can synthesize this into gold.
Oh my god. Anyways, so
We're having a good time. Here.
Yeah,
We're having a good time.
We're having a
good time.
fantastic
We're having a good
time. So the one thing about the Golden Dome is that it would integrate all the space-based sensors and interceptors, right? This would literally mark a huge shift toward the whole militarization of space.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to talk about the money, the cost.
Okay, gotcha.
So-
I wanted to talk about the fact that we have spoken about the Star Wars initiative that they were trying to put into effect in like the 60s, right? Right?
Yeah,
And what was that?
that was Darth Vader.
Wopa? Wopa Gangnam
Dude,
Style?
I have a bad mask on, all right?
The filter needs to be changed.
The filter needs to be changed, dude.
But yeah, so I mean, wasn't it Reagan that tried to put into effect the Star Wars, if I'm remembering correctly? Or was it
honestly,
Roosevelt?
I don't remember off the top of my head. It
But
was one of them.
It was
You're
one of those
thinking
R words.
Somewhere in that time era. Yeah, those R words. Bunch
But-
of retards.
But they,
dude.
I remember they mentioned it back in the day. I can't remember off the top of my head right now that they wanted to bring into effect the Star Wars for a protection against the treaty that said we cannot have nuclear weapons or weapons in space. Although we all know that Russia and China definitely have nuclear weapons on satellites in space.
yeah.
So if America and our military and DARPA and Lockheed Martin were not actively trying to thwart that, then we were way behind schedule. But I believe that they even mentioned it in the press hearing, saying that Star Wars has finally come to effect, that the Star Wars process finally finished, and now
Yeah.
they can use that initiative into the public, which is fucking awesome. Yeah, it's based off of a silly little movie, but it sounds the name is from a silly little movie.
Well, dude,
but-
I hope that we are the Empire, because in real life, the Empire would have fucked up the rebel scum. I mean, that's just, it's a movie, so they're going to be like, there's no force here, guys. You know?
right?
Unless we have the Schwartz.
The Schwartz is bigger than mine.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. I know it is. Thank you. Sorry. We're equals here. We've measured. Anyway, moving on. So the cost. So this should the cost of the Golden Dome would be, they're estimating it to be 175 billion over like
2 decades.
They're saying over, sorry. It would be 542 billion over 2 decades.
Yeah.
Sorry. So 1 decade roughly be 175 or just under that. But they're saying over the course of 2 decades, it'll be 542 billion dollars.
$2 billion.
Yeah, dude. Dr. Evil got to pump those numbers up. That 1 million.
So they're saying
no,
half
nothing.
$500 billion in 20 years.
Yeah.
If they are just now turning it on, we are a little behind schedule, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the intercontinental missiles that Russia launched onto Ukraine about this time last year. That shit was horrifying to watch. And if we're like, I keep saying like a lot today. That's not like me. But if they are just now activating the Golden Dome to then begin to have it be created in 20 decades, we're way behind schedule.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that they have already had it, and they're like, yeah, it'll take us 20 decades. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's probably just one of those off-book, black budget sort of deals. Where they're like, yeah, it's going to cost us this, but it's already costed us that.
Yeah.
That's where my brain goes.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm with you on that. That's where my brain's going
Yeah.
with it. But I will say this: even though the money, that's all up in the air, right? We'll see how much, or if we see how much it is down the road, depending on transparency levels. Let's talk about just like what it's comprised of. Like, really, what is it? Because, like earlier, I said it was broken up into 4 layers. You know?
Yeah.
And so you've got the orbital layer, atmospheric defense. You've got the cyber integrated command grid, and then you have the human machine interface type layer. So, yeah, and I have like a few like notes on each one because I was trying to find stuff on this, and dude, AI is fully integrated into this shit.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. It's the beginning, guys, of Skynet.
Yes, it is.
You are giving it our defenses.
So I wonder.
I'm just kidding. If Terminator shows up in the next 20 years or 50 years or whenever it may be, I'm going to be way older at that point. I'm not really going to give a fuck.
Exactly.
I'm going to be like, look at my kids and be like,
good luck.
Figure it the fuck out, whippersnapper.
We saved it to now. It's your turn.
It's your problem now. Sorry, you were about to say something.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say something.
I thought I was. But, oh, yes. If the Golden Dome has like a perimeter that it goes around, what happens if you walk outside of it?
Dead. It's got lasers just to torch you.
We can't save you over there. You're 15 feet away from the dome exit.
Oh, dude, that's fucked. Oh, look, the last
Little Jimmy, no! Oh my God!
We can only hope that all the tree-hugging hippies are over there at the edges, and they go, oh, the last dandelion must be the last one of the season. Steps right across it. Bzz. Yay! You hear the Monty Python. There was much rejoicing. Yay! Fine. Sorry to all those tree-hugging hippies out there. You all have your places and roles in life.
So this system in general doesn't just take over space, though, right?
No.
It's meant for the ground. It's meant for sea and in every aspect of the known Earth and our existence, right? Space, ground, sea. So they are implementing this technology to protect their warships that are out there, that are out in the ocean preparing for battle. They have their certain golden domes that are transportable as well, which is very awesome.
What really fascinated me about the orbital layer of this whole thing was, don't get me wrong, you have the whole satellites with missile detection, and it's like AI and kill. They labeled it kill vehicle interceptors, which is basically equipped with advanced AI to detect and intercept incoming missiles. But what fascinated me the most, and the whole thing was fast. I hate to say that it fascinated me the most, but this one caught my eye the most because we've talked about direct energy weapons so many times.
Absolutely.
We've been trying to blow the whistle on that for years on our podcast.
I think we have talked about.
We don't get credit for it, but we've been trying. But like, we already know about the direct energy weapons, right? Like, laser, focused lasers and all that bullcrap moving at the speed of light. Yep. We already know about that. Maui fires. So what? All the blue houses didn't burn. Interesting. Anyway, LA. Yeah. Anyway, but there must be something wrong with this microphone. All right.
Hello, is this thing on?
But no, what really caught my eye about this was the mesh network of real-time global threat monitoring using quantum-linked satellites.
Exactly.
The word quantum.
Oh, but no, that's a new technology. There's no way we have that.
Nah, there's no way.
They just
way.
they just figured out how to use quantum, right?
Yeah, they just figured it
Didn't
out.
Didn't Microsoft just come out with a million qubit microchip?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Google just announce that they have a quantum computer? I thought they just announced this.
Yeah.
No, we have satellites that have it already?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I think it's time we give the one thing we always say on this show when we talk about technology that just comes out. If we're just now hearing about it, that means it's existed fully for minimum 20 years. Depending on what technology we're talking about, it could be as long as 40 years.
That's exactly right.
Maybe 50, 60. There's some that goes way past that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very suspicious.
I'm excited
You know?
I'm excited to see what phones are going to look like once we have the quantum realm actually integrated into our reality.
Bro, I saw the wildest shit. You're talking about phones.
Yeah.
I saw
that
something.
clear phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one in person.
You know shit?
Yeah.
Where? What?
It was just early this week. I meant to tell you about that. I'm sorry. You just draw my memory. It was dude, I was at shit. Where was I? Because I had stopped. I was at a gas station. I had just stopped at a racetrack, and I was pumping fuel, and there was this dude on the other side in a Tesla, like parked on the other side, but he wasn't getting fuel or anything. He was just parked there being a dick and taking up a fuel spot so he could go inside. Well, he was just sitting on the hood of his car because this was in the evening. He was sitting on the hood of his car, just like leaning against it, bullshitting. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you fucking parked your Tesla at a fucking fuel pump? You're a cunt. And sorry, that's the one time I get to say it, but you are, sir, random Tesla driver, for doing that. But he was sitting there, and I looked at him, and I looked away, and I had to take a double take. I was like, what the fuck did I just see? And I looked over, and he was holding his phone, and I could see his fucking fingers
Fully
through it.
fully
And
translucent,
and he was sitting there just doing his thing. And I was like, I stared at it. I was like dumbfounded for a second. I was like, dude? I was like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, his hoochie whatever slut came out to get in the car.
You are just the nicest person in the world, bro.
Listen, you dress like a slut and you leave nothing to the imagination. How you dress? Girl, you a slut. Anyway, so that's just a natural order, You gotta stick with the pecking order. She's got a lot of pecking to do. She probably has done a lot already. Sorry. Anyways, he gets in his car, so it's like by the time I was gonna be like, hey, you, the fuck are you holding in your hand? He was already in his car driving away.
Well, I mean,
So,
I think they announced recently that they're doing a beta test on the transparent, translucent phones that you can then take around and use for everyday use. So you're gonna probably be seeing more and more of them show up because they're in full beta test, right?
yeah, it's interesting.
And once that beta test comes in the alpha stage, then they're gonna be like, "Hey, new technology."
I don't like that.
I personally think it's fucking cool. I would love to have a
I
transparent
would never
phone.
want to have one.
Really?
No, because what's really cool about good phones, like if you have a good phone, when I say a good phone, I'm talking about ones that are made out of. You can buy phones custom made that are like even iPhones that are in certain casings to where people can't penetrate it with remote devices. Those translucent ones will be.
Why do you say that?
Because it doesn't have the casing around it.
I mean, you can put a case on it.
I just don't trust it, man. I just don't trust it. I feel like it's gonna bring up some vulnerabilities, bro.
Yeah, that's
Not
why.
just
That's
on
why
the cyber
that's
side,
why they're beta testing it.
but also the other side. If it looks like glass, it breaks like glass immediately. If next time I see that Tesla guy, I'm
slap
like,
it out of his hand.
I'm like, oh, cough, shit. I'm like, dude, what happened to your?
Next time you see him, walk up to him and be like, "Hey,
Oh,
what is
shit.
that?
Yeah, no shit.
Can I take a photo of it? Can I look at
I'm
it?"
never gonna see him again. I'm not rich enough. Come on,
I
or
mean-
in debt enough. Come on.
Yeah, there you go. More like you're not dead enough.
Anyway, sorry, we got way off topic, but
I'm
yeah.
I'm excited for that new technology personally. I think I would get a translucent phone just to have it. That's
Yeah.
That's like Star Trek level shit. And that's what we're talking about today, right? Like the whole 6th generation, 7th generation of fighter jets and technology in general
Yeah.
is the newest aspect of our reality, is coming to a fruition very quickly. They have recently announced that there's a upstart company in Texas on the border right there in the Gulf of America that they are trying to create on a mass production fully autonomous drone vehicles, boats rather, that are able to traverse water and underneath the water faster than any boat because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to have a man or a human inside of it.
Speaking of fast, because you just made me think of this, it has to do with the Golden Dome. So on the atmospheric defense layer, they have their advanced hypersonic interceptors are designed for intercepting any missile that's capable of like traveling at hypersonic speeds. But their advanced hypersonic interceptors on this layer that's integrated apparently can catch shit that's above Mach 8.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's designed for going above Mach 8.
That's like instant.
And I was trying to find like what's the cap? Like is it like Mach 9?
Mach
10?
infinity, dude.
It didn't have one. I couldn't find anything on the cap. It was
I'm
saying,
sure there's a cap. There
I'm
has
sure
to
there's
be.
Mach 22.
They're probably not gonna be like,
Just kidding.
if you can defeat Mach 15, then you'll be able to break our Golden Dome.
Yeah.
Why would they announce that?
Yeah. What I think is cool, it also has railgun stations.
Right? Okay, dude. My StarCraft brain is
It made me
so
think
happy.
of Quake 3.
Dude,
The
yes.
railgun, dude. One shot kill. Fuck. I was really good at that.
I mean, they've been testing railgun usage on warships.
Mhm.
What are they called? I keep calling them warships. Cruisers. Cruisers.
Oh, okay. Cruisers. Okay.
Of sorts of like that. And I don't know the boat names
Oh, okay.
of the battleships. Battleships, that's a better term.
Battle cruisers. There you go.
So they've been testing railguns, and there's been studies that they shoot up to like 100 miles with direct penetration and
shit.
efficacy.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
They're
while you're talking about
badass
that.
to look at. There's been numerous videos that have come across my desk, so to speak, about the railgun usage. They use magnets to launch them at breakneck speed. They're incredibly expensive right now, of course, but they have been testing it, and DARPA has announced it, and they use it in testing. So does Lockheed Martin. Of course, they wouldn't go out of their way.
Shit.
Did you find
It's more than
something?
100 miles, dude.
What is it?
145 fucking
Okay, I
miles,
was wrong.
dude.
That's super far.
That's far.
That's really far.
That's wild.
So
It also well, it's also not taking into effect of the altitude too. That's talking about if it's like setting low.
yeah, that's like on ground,
Well, I wonder-
right?
Yeah, that's not talking about when it's up higher
Yeah.
in a higher position in our atmosphere. That's wild, dude. Oh my god.
Put it on the Empire State Building and shoot
Oh
it.
my god. It says right here, 300 to 350 miles
God dang.
from a high arc or suborbital trajectory.
That is significant.
That's wild, dude.
That's
That's awesome.
that's scary.
That's cool. I want to ride one.
Wait, you want to ride the rail?
Yeah, dude.
Pause, bro.
Pause.
Pause.
All right, let's stop the stream.
I don't know. This sort of thing, I've never been in the military. I've never been a part of the armed forces. I am a purebred Texan who loves firearms, born and raised around them,
Hell yeah,
and
dude.
have a mad respect for anybody who has taken their time to join and fight for our freedom. So, looking at the tech they have and that they're sharing is amazing. That we are on the future side of it now. I wonder what everybody else in the world has if we are announcing this. Does every nation already have their quote unquote golden dome? Does China have the red dome?
Yeah, see, and, can I add another one?
Of
This
course.
is another fascinating
going.
fucking thing about this. Is that so? This has to do with the cyber integrated command grid. So obviously, we already know that there's AI enabled into all this, integrated in all that crap. But what I think is wild is that it is linked with NORAD. I don't know if I'm saying this right. A Stratcom,
Yeah, yeah.
USS TRATCOM, and Space Force Command via quantum encrypted networks. Like I said, the way how he was saying, like, you know, finally able to announce this, like how he's excited to finally be able to talk about this, means they're already got it, man.
Oh, 100
they already have it. I don't buy that they're just now working on it. You don't announce something you're just now working on because that's on a tactical region, like strategically speaking, with potential enemies and people around the world. You don't talk about like, yeah, we're gonna have it sometime. Well, they don't have it now. Go bomb them, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever wonder why we haven't gotten hit by a fucking missile? All these other countries are all get fucked up, but America's never been fucking touched, and I wonder why that is. Other than the norms, which is if you actually look at where the U.S. is sitting and who our bordering countries are, and the massive water between us and everybody on both sides. Sure, there's a lot of things to be said about that and the other layers that go into it. But that doesn't stop the countries that already have had beef with us and have been threatening and all this crap. Dude, there could have easily been at some point in time. And I think it's because they knew that their shit would never even fucking make a hit.
Yeah, they wouldn't touch us, right?
I think it, yeah. I bet you this has probably been implemented for more than 10 years.
And that also makes me think
that.
about the drones that were over New Jersey as well, right? Do you remember that whole scare of these Iraqi drones that apparently were over top of New Jersey?
Was not, or Iran.
Iran. Yeah, it was Iran.
It was
You're
not
right.
Iran.
There's no way in hell they would have been able to pass by the Golden Dome if it was a already active thing. I mean, come on. You think logically here, right? I mean, you have the most advanced war. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. The most money spent on technology that humans can do in America versus some other country that, well, lack of better words, don't have shit. And if they're attacking us with drones or showing a part of force with drones, they would have been wiped out instantly. So that really goes to show that if these things were over top of our nation, they were more than likely ours.
Yeah.
And saying, hey.
Oh, I guarantee it was a third, like a private contractor that has an agreement with the, whatever DOD or whomever
DARPA
else.
Or whoever,
That's
right?
why the government didn't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, they would have been shooting them down.
And I know if anyone's listening right now, I'm sure you saw things where people were talking about people in Congress, but we already know Congress is just a big dog and pony show. There's nothing, they already know about shit. They just put it on for, it's posturing.
Yeah.
It's just to let the masses, the herd, think, oh, look, they're doing something. They're in there talking.
I mean, it's from from Sun Tzu's Art of War perfectly. All warfare is based on deception. It's making enemies believe you are far when you're near, or inactive when you're preparing to strike. Right? It's that concept in a whole nutshell. We don't have anything. We don't know what these things are. We don't know what that is. What the heck? That's so new to us. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
So, if you fear retaliation from another country, I implore you to look at EMPs instead. That's the real fear.
Yeah. The other cool thing though about the command grid layer of it is this made me think of War Games, the movie with Matthew Broderick from the 80s. You ever seen that?
Of course.
Okay. Anyone listening, if you haven't seen it, you're uncultured. Go fucking watch it. But if you haven't, or if you have, you'll know what I'm talking about. So the command grid has this other layer within inside of it for predictive warfare logic. So it's essentially playing a war game with itself on the back end for predictabilities and coming up with variables and percentages and figuring out what will be doing what would be coming from where, if this did this, if this did that, blah, blah, blah. This is what we do here, here, here. And it's doing it simultaneously on a quantum network that's integrated. Cody posted a comment here. What's up, Cody? Man, I love you, dude. He says Congress is the central soundbite hub. Fuck yes, it is.
That's a very well put
That is
statement.
a very well way to put that. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your contribution. That's why Cody is getting one of our merches sent to him for free, and it's going to be lovely. It's the hashtag Fuck Jerry branded, smartly educated designer piece thing that
desk sitter.
It's a paperweight. Shit. But anyways, yes. Thank you for that comment, Cody. But no. So like where was I? The predictive warfare logic. How it does all that predictions. It made me think of War Games so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And, because, the name of the computer is Joshua, right? Mm-hmm. That's doing it. This big central AI integrated computer. But just like the fucking movie War, it's really, it blows my mind sometimes that people, when they go, well, no, man, get your head out of sci-fi. Bitch, sci-fi, you wonder where these sci-fi movies got their inspiration from. We already know that Spielberg and other big directors talked with literally spooks or former CIA or former this or someone who's currently in but had to, be like, hey, I'll give you this. And we already know the CIA has a budget for Hollywood movies.
That's right.
So it's just like what you see in sci-fi movies. Yeah, some of them, they're complete, utter bullshit, right? Like, it's complete imagination land. But there's other ones like War Games and, a litany of others that it's like you could look at it and go, wait a minute. Potentially, there's like maybe 50% truth in here or 60% truth. And the rest is like half truths and fluff.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes only. Shit, it would be pure entertainment for me if you just made a movie that was based on full realism and did 100% truth. Let's go. Just 1% false truth, because obviously you have to make up names and characters.
Battlefield Earth.
Dun, dun, dun. Nice, dude. Yeah. Anyways,
the Golden Dome is a really cool concept.
Yep.
Will it work? I fucking hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
I really do hope so.
I'd like to think since nothing's happened, it's already worked.
That's so optimistic of you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you went from making fun of people a moment ago to being very optimistic. I like that.
I hope it only protects the people I like.
Not the guy who drives a Tesla.
Yeah, or is
because they're Nazis, right, dude? If you drive a Tesla, guess what, dude? You're a Nazi.
Oh,
you raise your hand to Hitler, dude. You listen to that new Yay song, brother, and I'll tell you what right now, dudes. If you drive a Tesla, you're gonna get your car keyed. Wait, your key card. Wait.
That doesn't work. But anyways, here at Smartly Uneducated, we think all those assholes and bastards who are doing that deserve to get their balls clipped. For doing such a thing.
I'll castrate you like a billy goat, dude. Just a little rubber band around them nuts.
Oh, dude, he's gonna be jumping around like a bull. He's like, get that thing off my balls, kicking his legs out.
It's a funny idea.
I love it. But the Golden Dome, though, Golden Dome. Sorry. Anyways, we're moving away from balls, testicle jokes here. There was another deal that I was gonna say on it. So just to put this in perspective, the Golden Dome literally will and is surpassing Chinese and Russian hypersonic capabilities.
Yeah.
That we know of, right? For all we know, they could be hiding shit too that no one knows about, like who knows? And then this right here, the Golden Dome solidifies without a doubt that space dominance for outside of our orbit in actual space between us and the moon, dude. That area of space and beyond, whatever. Pretty much, if you're not on Earth, we control that shit too. We have dominance over it with the Golden Dome. I mean,
you think it'll take out an asteroid?
Listen, dude,
like a comet or whatever,
I've
right?
seen Armageddon, dude.
I listened to Aerosmith growing up.
Yeah,
watching.
dude. Ben Affleck got his baby teeth removed and got adult teeth put in for the movie. I've seen that movie. It's got one of my favorite Russian French actor dudes in it.
Russian French?
I don't remember. He always plays a Russian. He's probably part Russian. I don't know. I don't know what his origination
he's probably
is.
Mexican.
But I love that dude. He's always plays a Russian in every movie. He's in it. You got Steve Buscemi in it.
Yeah, the Bush.
Dude, you got Bruce fucking Willis in it.
Yeah.
Dude, you got an all-star cast of just America going, we're going to blow shit up, dude. We're oil workers. Anyways, but I forgot why you brought why. Oh, that's right. Golden Dome. So, yeah, we're beyond the movie Armageddon when it comes to Golden Dome.
Well,
although I would love to sign up if there ever was an asteroid. I would love to be able to reenact the movie Armageddon up there.
I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'd be playing that while we're launching off the pad. I'd be like, dude, I'd have my beer hat on. I'd have beef jerky in my upper breast pocket.
You put on a scarf just like the Aerosmith lead singer.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Scott Tyler, what's his name? I don't know.
Yeah, Steven Tyler.
Scott Tyler. But have you talked about the technology that they're integrating?
I miss you, babe.
But I don't want to miss a thing, even when I dream of you.
Yeah.
Copyright TMTM.
TMT,
Wait. We can't do that for something that's already copyrighted.
Wait. That's smartly uneducated version. Sorry. So yeah, we would surpass all that, and then basically we would have this technologically infallible shield. Essentially, dude, like it's fucking dope.
So they're using a bunch of new technology. There's something called the C2BMC. That's C2 BMC. It's an operationally proven layered missile defense system allows commanders to make synchronized decisions about threats at range in any phase of the flight from any location in the world. So, fresh launch, we can blow that up as it's leaving the launch site.
That's tight.
Or once it's direct into us, we can take it out. Or wherever it's going, we can just destroy it. With a missile that they're referring to as the NGI. It's a first line of defense tip-to-tail interceptor within the Missile Defense Agency's ground-based mid-course defense system.
I thought NGI was supposed to stand for normal gastral injection.
Injection? What are you injecting into your gas?
Some people like the boof stuff, dude.
I'm boofing this beer tonight, bud.
Dude, I was boofing my parasite detox the other day.
You ever seen a black Honda Civic pull up to your house? Just know we're boofing parties, dude.
Cody, you're invited. Cody told us.
So are you, Ryan, if you're listening?
Yeah, Ryan, you're invited too. Of course you are.
I mean, they have all sorts of technology. I'll read the list real quick.
Can I? Oh, yeah. While you do that, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take it a leak.
Yeah, they have something called the PAC-3 MSE. Is a world leader in oh my God. It's a world leader in defense technology for air defense missile systems, which delivers unmatched capability across multi-domain environments. Yeah, I mean, they have all sorts of shit. So they have the SBIRS, more missiles, the LRDR. It's the new advanced LiDAR system. So it's a long-range discrimination radar. So they can see across the globe where a missile could be coming from and immediately take action if they'd like to. But in this moment, while Ben is gone, I'm going to take a moment to shout out to our sponsors. We have Dustin Beck and David Southerner with the use of our theme song. Ship of Theseus is what they refer to it as. Badass intro, badass exit song. Thank you so very much, as always. And if you like it, go check them out on Instagram. Go give them a follow. Go say, good song, good song. If you like my hat, Bad Cat, if you like some of the art sitting here behind me, big shout out to Bad Cat Studios up there in North Carolina. Go check them out on the internet. Go to their Instagram. They're all over the place, based out of North Carolina, Durham. Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes. We're working on some merch for you guys as well. But there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff happening right now. Pay attention to the media when it comes to the technology talks, because the 6th generation, 7th generation stuff is going to be blowing your brain. It's going to be popping the dome off the top. We have the ones called the Sentinel A4. It's a high-performance surveillance radar replacing the legacy Sentinel A3. This is what is going to be on ground defense. So they can attach it to trucks. They can attach it to boats. They can put it on things that are going to be modular in aspect to protect battle zones or what have you. I also did the ad plug, by the way, so we don't have to do that anymore.
That's tight.
There's all sorts of new technology, like the Aegis combat system. It's the Navy's most modern surface combat system known to date. I mean, they have THAAD, THAAD, experienced in combat proven THAAD, which is the old one, the F-35s. They're bringing them into the 21st century, which would bring us into the F-47, which is named after Donald Trump, by the way, if you didn't recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the 47th president, F-47. I think it's funny.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, you were going into that.
Yeah, well, we can, but I know you.
Well, I have a couple more things about the Golden Dome that will blow your fucking mind.
I wasn't really going into that. I was just sort of.
Oh yeah, no, I got you.
Little teaser, if you will.
Teaser,
but
I didn't want to steal your thunder.
Steal my thunder.
Cool, because I got some stuff here about the Golden Dome that I think would be really good to know before we move on. Wrap that part up. That's what she said. Never. That's why you have a bunch of kids, guys. Anyways, so sorry. Evan's got like 1,000 kids.
Keep coming out of nowhere.
They keep coming out of nowhere. Some of them are like 60. We don't even know how that's possible.
Hey, Dad.
Fuck. But no, what I thought was really interesting about the Golden Dome. So this is where things for me really took another turn. It's because of who's involved with the systems. And one of the systems, now it doesn't say that it's integrated in, but DARPA's involved in this. Lockheed Martin's involved. They're all the big contractors are working with the United States with this. Well, Project Blackjack, which is by DARPA's Project Blackjack, which is a satellite constellation for low latency command.
Yeah, dude.
dude, that has to be fully integrated into that.
Oh yeah, they did it in 2023.
Yeah. Well, at least that's when they announced it.
Yeah.
We already know DARPA's just as bad as everybody else about the whole like.
They're
oh,
worse.
They're worse. They keep shit
They
under
are
lock
they
and
are
key
the
for
worst.
a long time. But yeah, so DARPA is involved in this, and that tells me that Project Blackjack, the whole satellite constellation of low latency for low latency command, is 100% part of this.
Oh yeah.
And then you've got the space fence. You ever heard about this?
I have not heard of the space
It's an
fence.
orbital debris and missile tracking sensor network.
Oh, what? That's so sick.
Yeah, and dude, you guys have to remember. I know we already mentioned a bunch of different tracking systems, for missiles and stuff like that. The Golden Dome has so many layers. When I say there's 4 layers, yeah, there's 4 main categorical layers to list, but within each one of those are a fuckload of other things listed.
That makes sense.
Like this thing, like it's so robust, it almost makes you think it's not real. Like, I'll be honest, that's a thought that went through my head. It's like, man, this is so robust that it's like, is it really real?
Yeah.
I'm thinking it is. I really am. But there's that, and then you've got THAAD, which is next gen. THAAD next gen. THAAD. THAAD.
Yeah, I briefly talked about that a moment ago.
Oh, the high speed interceptors.
I didn't break it down because it is a really cool
I wasn't
thing.
breaking it down. I was just throwing it in there.
Yeah.
To at least name it, because that's like its own thing. There's so much stuff we could dive into on THAAD.
Well, THAAD is combat
up the
proven.
whole thing.
They've been using THAAD for a while now,
Mhm.
but they have released a next gen model of it. It's surface to air, right? You can attach it to a truck and drive it around, and it can handle any terrain.
Yeah, and then the other one, yeah,
That's
dude,
awesome.
It's wild. Sorry, it made me think of the orbital railguns.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, well, the railguns that we're talking about that we mentioned earlier, which were under the which layer was it? I believe it was the atmospheric layer. The railgun stations and EMPs and all that stuff. That's still within the atmosphere. This fucking thing, which is the orbital railgun. It's very. I couldn't find definitive information on it, but it is something that has been floating around within the Golden Dome talks from like official sources, official people. If they have orbital railgun capabilities, that tells me that we're talking. If you guys have ever played Doom Eternal and he nukes Mars and with the BFG with that giant cannon, and before Doom guy gets frustrated and takes the BFG off of the little control panel, that's what I thought of as just one big world-ending railgun.
Well, absolutely. I mean,
that's what it made me think of. Obviously, it's probably not that, but probably something really wickedly cool, though, and awesome, and wildly effective. Because if those atmospheric ones can do ranges of 300 miles and they have tons of them, right? Because it's not going to be something where it's just one here and one there. No, they have an array of them.
So all
makes me wonder what would be in the orbital side.
Oh, the orbital side's scary with Leo out there. The low Earth orbit satellite system that is part of Project Blackjack from DARPA is wild to even look and listen to.
Yeah.
But the railguns that you're talking about they were created with JPL and DARPA together.
Of course, JPL was involved.
They were a part of it, and everything you can find about it is like it's just conceptual. It's just conceptual.
Bull. I don't buy that for 2 seconds.
We started conceiving it in 2023 whenever Leo was launched into space. Ain't no way, fam. Ain't no way. They're like, oh, you're able to put satellites in space that hold defense? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't put these up there that we have invented also. Definitely don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's DARPA's railgun system that they're involved with it's baffling.
Yeah.
I know we briefly mentioned at the top of the show or maybe like 20 minutes ago or so, but they're referred to as the HAWC, Hawk.
Hawk.
Tua. No,
just Hawk.
No Tua. No Tua here.
No Tua.
We don't do no blonde hillbilly stuff. This program is a joint effort between the U.S. Air Force and explores technology for air-launched hypersonic cruise missiles, including advanced air vehicle defenses and propulsion system. So they are referred to as HAWK, which is an acronym for Hypersonic Air Breathing Weapon Concepts. Boy, these things go fast as hell. They
Wild, dude.
So you know how you have the SR-22 that has the engines that pull in air to make it go faster and cool down the engine. It's the same thing they have on these missiles for the railgun that they don't have up in space.
Yeah.
If our enemies have weapons in space, you better believe we do too.
Yep.
And they said they can't have nuclear missiles in space. They didn't say nothing about no railguns or laser or direct energy weapons, anything of that sort, right? So
Yeah.
the technology is so far advanced. It's hard for my brain to wrap my head around it.
Yeah. It's wild.
What they're releasing, it's like, yeah, this plane can shape shift into something else and launch into space and come back down without having any malfunctions.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, fuck me. What is that?
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, what is that?
Is that a spaceship? What is this, dude? Well, because we talked about it briefly, I think like 4 episodes ago. Lockheed Martin said that they have metal that can change shape into whatever they want it to look like.
Oh, you mean reverse engineered technology?
Absolutely, right?
Oh, yeah.
They released a video of a helicopter morphing into a plane, and then a plane into an orb, and then into a helicopter again.
I'm pretty positive that the UFOs that we see nowadays, the majority of them, that people catch in the sky doing weird shit, changing shape, all that crap, I personally think it's just our shit. I think it's reverse engineered tech. Not saying the craft itself is reverse engineered, like as in it's the original craft and we just figured out. No, I think they just took things they figured out and learned from dissecting a handful of potential, alien craft that were recovered or found or whatever it may have been. Who knows? I'm going to burn down the whole UFO shit nowadays. The alien stuff, because there's so much bullshit because of Lou Elizondo and all those cunts. Dang it. I was only allowed to say that word once. But anyways, point is that it wouldn't surprise. I'm pretty positive at this point that all the shit we're seeing is just our shit. Like it's either DARPA doing stuff, Lockheed Martin stuff doing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
We already know the Tic Tac was Lockheed Martin's craft.
Yeah.
And that's just that's a baby one compared to all the other shit. So, yeah.
And we will need a lot of power to withstand the future technology. So they will be ramping up energy consumption like crazy here soon.
Yeah.
America's very lucky to have cheap energy. Let's make that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
You look at your electricity bill and you're like, oh my God, it's expensive. No.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere else in the globe, electricity is like $10 for a kilowatt.
Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, the perfect example is actually sitting in California right now. It's the bulb that has been running since
The Edison bulb?
Yeah. That's the original bulb. Never burnt out. Still running just fine. And that is a pure indicator, not even an indicator. It's a fact. It's a blatant fucking billboard in your fucking face that they're like, "Oh, we're not really making money off this because no one has to buy any more." Well, let's come out with a new model, guys.
Yeah, let's make it to where it breaks so they have to buy more.
No, and take that narrative with just that light bulb and apply it to everything else we have in the world now at this point, technology-wise. So it's like, especially for energy for your home. No, dude, they already have it.
Yeah, absolutely right.
It's without a doubt. Sorry, there was one other thing I was going to give about the Golden Dome, and I'm done.
Yeah, Golden Dome is very fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot to go into.
Typically, in our show, we find a topic, and it's a short show, 2 hours. Some of you might find that very long, but these topics, we could probably talk about it for hours.
Mm-hmm.
I can just read you DARPA's like documentation they have on this stuff, and that would take 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
2 hours that's being light.
I could just read their documents word for word. And
and then
it'd be a very boring show. But
and that's with you speed reading too, because if you were to pull everything, it'd be more than 2 hours. But the last thing I want to talk about, some kind of I don't want to say they're conspiracies with the Golden Dome. I think it's more of I think it's a hybrid of a little bit of conspiracy trickled in with controversy.
An unvetted idea.
Not really unvetted. It's not really an unvetted idea. It's just more of concerns, like controversy and conspiracies within it. So, for instance, the dome being this giant quantum-linked global network, right? Well, there are pretty big researchers out there, a lot of researchers who are saying that basically the Golden Dome isn't just for defense, but pretty much creates this giant permanent surveillance matrix that is 100,000,000% capable of tracking every single object and signal on Earth.
Yeah. Okay.
Goodbye, privacy.
We haven't had that in a decade.
I know.
anyway.
We haven't had privacy in forever, so everyone complain about privacy. Don't get me wrong. I'm big on privacy, too.
Me
I really
too,
am.
me
I'm
as well.
huge about it. But there's limits to what you can control. You can't control what the big brother is going to be fucking doing in space.
No.
I have no control over that. I'm not for that type of surveillance on myself or my neighbor.
I mean, you can
whatever, but
you can use Ashton Forbes' whole life experiment off of the privacy aspect in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, we did have satellites in space that captured the plane being teleported out of existence. That's the whole problem with privacy, right? These satellites are always looking.
And that's what cracks me up, because you've got all these. There's like a whole surge going after Ashton. Sorry, I know we're segueing, but I'll keep it very brief. But there's like a whole attack wave going after Ashton Forbes right now. Right now there is. All because of the MH370 videos.
Well, he's been attacked like crazy over.
Oh
his
yeah,
career.
I think it's funny that all of a sudden, once he starts getting more and more traction, it's because it's a straight up a disinformation campaign against him.
Well, yeah,
It's pretty obvious in the people who are involved, and there's prominent channels on X. I'm not going to say names right now because I'm saving that for a couple episodes from now, because I'm going to be calling out everybody and saying fuck you to all you little cunts, because you're obviously on a payroll. You're obviously getting, or they're bots.
Well, stay tuned for that very bright, happy show.
Oh, but no, I think the slander and the attacks coming after him, it's like, if you think he's full of shit, like it comes a line where you walk away from something going, yeah, whatever, let him say whatever he wants. He's not telling the truth. But the way these people are attacking him and going after him, and then don't get me started on Ross Coulthart and his half-assed fucking journalism. Yeah, Ross Coulthart. I don't care.
Oh, so it's this episode you're gonna call him out?
No. He's the only person I'm giving name to, because everyone already knows him, and I've already put comments and posts on X calling him out for his fucking weird, hypocritical, and biased, and very selective. Only promotes people who claims that can communicate if you're gay with a deal. Yeah, good job, and you're great reporting. You fucking retard. Anyways, moving on to 6th Gen warfare.
Well, alrighty then.
I got a little carried away there, but I'm just annoyed by all of it. It's all fucking posturing bullshit.
Well, yeah,
It's all it is.
That's what most of this is. Like, I have it, you don't. I have it, you don't. Give me your money. Read my book because I have it and you don't.
I'll be really honest with you guys. I want money. Give me money. There you go.
Feel free to donate to us.
Look at that. Solved, guys. Solved. Okay, sorry. There is one other controversy, and then I'm done. So they're talking about these this hidden agenda. People are like, there's some fringe theories that are gaining traction, and it's basically like this. The way they're phrasing this is kind of like this space-based kill switch.
Yep.
Essentially, like where flip of a switch, we can target rogue, basically targeting rogue actors type thing to. Communications, civilian technical grids, like technology grids, like all that stuff. So there's a bunch of other stuff. There's a litany of actually those floating around. Some of them are obviously made up. Some of them
it may be controversy to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It may be controversy.
Yeah.
But it's not being used for that. Yeah, we have the capability of turning off a country's ecosystem and power. Well, I mean, don't make us do that. Right? Mm-hmm. It's like going to a wasp nest and being like, it's like poking a wasp nest and expecting not to be attacked.
Yeah.
So we are able to take down your entire power grid, your entire system, everything with a flick of a button. Please don't do that. And they're like, well, they shouldn't have that power. No, fuck you. You shouldn't want to harm us.
Yeah.
Right? Is that too crazy to think of?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. I almost just flipped right back to the whole calling those
bastards
out.
Is that too crazy of a thought? Is that just like too far-fetched to be like, we have this to defend ourselves in case these people want to harm us?
Yeah.
Don't hate us for having it. Hate us for having to have this.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, so right on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But anyways, let's talk about 6th Gen. 6th Gen warfare, guys.
What is 6th Gen? What does that mean?
Well, basically, it basically just represents the latest evolution in military strategy
The
and tech,
newest and coolest, right?
Yeah, like basically, it's like what is the newest integration of advanced technologies for like AI to autonomous systems, cyber capabilities,
Power.
network centric type operations to like cognitive and information type warfare to straight up firepower warfare. Like, it's all of that.
Yeah.
And that's the 6th gen, man. We're going, what's the next stage of all of our shit? I will say this though. I'm very excited.
Me too.
About
It's
it.
awesome.
I'm very
I've
excited.
been waiting
about it.
for a new jet for a very long time.
Yeah, dude.
We've had the F-35 for my entire life, right?
Dude, I know you were saying the F-35, but I'm a huge fan of like the F-18 and the F-16.
Those are so old news.
I
though.
know, but they're so fucking awesome.
They're
still.
very cool. The F-35.
You know what my
is
favorite
awesome.
fighter plane is still to this day? The Warthog, dude.
Yeah, duh.
When it comes, that's what it's doing, dude.
Sounds like we have to Taco Bell,
It's
buddy.
like, watch out, we got like 1,000 infantry down here all funneling down on us. I got you.
Here comes the A-10. I wonder if you just peaked then.
I hope I did, because that thing would be peeking in your ear if you're the one piloting it while firing that 50 caliber fucking machine gun, Gatling gun, whatever it is. I think it's a Gatling gun, right?
It's a Gatling gun, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome. The Warthog is dope. Anyways, that's old, but it's still beast. It's a tank with wings. That's essentially what it is. Anyways,
So
sorry.
Lockheed and Martin had lost the contract for the newest updated F-47 jet.
Really?
Yes. The U.S. Air Force said it's not good enough. So DARPA then was like, oh, we got it. Boom. Now they produced it, and now they're building it. Or, quote unquote, just now starting to build it, although there are plenty of documents saying that it has had thousands of hours in flight already.
Yeah.
So they have been testing it and proving it works, and that's why they're showing it off, saying that's why Trump the other month was like, we have this.
Yeah.
Or we have this. That's better. That's better, right?
We have this. It's great.
So, but Lockheed Martin said, fine, you don't want to give us the F-47 contract. We're going to take the F-35 and give it a NASCAR upgrade. So they put a bigger, better engine, better everything on the F-35, and it was like, look at this.
Look at this.
It now has 80% of the capability of the new F-47. This thing is
No shit.
fucking badass.
Wow, that's
It's
dope.
faster, quieter, more dangerous. It has the
I'm gonna pull up a picture of it. What was it? You said it was the F-37?
F-35.
F-35. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the F-35. It's the Lockheed and Martin's. They're making the F-47 80% of that's capability.
Who's making it right now?
Lockheed.
Lockheed's the newest.
Yeah, so Lockheed Martin's making the F-35 with its upgrades, which is 80% of the F-47. Kind of convoluted, right?
Yeah, is this it right here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
So they're calling it the F-35 TR3, I believe is what they're referring to it as. And
There it is right here.
they're using what they're referring to as NGAD, the next generation air dominance
I'm gonna
fighter.
switch it over so you guys can see it.
It's
That's it right
it's
there.
contracted through Boeing. So Boeing is making these motherfuckers for Lockheed.
Yeah, that is a sick looking plane though.
Dude, it is gonna be
I want one.
I want one too.
I don't even know how to fly.
I'll
Figure it out.
Can I just strap onto the top of it and ride it like a whale?
Dude, I can see right here. Right
That's
here.
perfect.
Dude, I want on this side. Well, no, fuck it. We're gonna make a horseshoe shaped couch with a little platform up there, and we can both sit on there like a fucking sectional couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like with the reclining
What about,
capabilities
what
for
about-
aerodynamic purposes.
I want to surf it like a like a surfboard and hold on to it with harnesses.
Oh shit.
You know, like
that's
that'd be fun to do.
Yeah, it's tight.
But since Lockheed and Martin failed that, they're like, okay, fine. We'll just take
Yeah.
our technology to the F-47 because you said it was too expensive,
Mhm.
and we'll put it onto the F-35 with some downgrades and have Boeing make it. And they said that sounds good. So they are making these things like fucking crazy. They're calling it the Ferrari of the 5th generation
Yeah.
fighters. This isn't a 6th gen fighter jet.
No,
this is not
just a 5th gen.
a 6th generation. The F-47 is going to be the newest.
Yeah, which I have the only photo that was ever released of it, and it's
Yes.
not even it actually.
It's an artist
It's a rendering of it. So before I show that, though, I want to talk about what are the key features of 6th generation fighters, since we're talking about aircrafts, right? One, so I'm just going to read through them. You got advanced stealth and aerodynamics. So we're talking tailless designs, which is for like enhancing stealth capabilities, all that stuff, which is reducing radar cross sections, all that crap. Then you've got adaptive airframes,
Yep.
which is allowing for modifications in flight to optimize performance and reduce detectability.
What does that sound like to you? Sounds like they're morphing the metal.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I was just about to say generically UFO, but you hit it right on the head.
Sounds like a
better.
UFO.
Yeah, it sounds like a UFO, guys. But now the next one, so one of the other features is artificial intelligence and autonomy. So AI co-pilots, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
Skynet, let's go.
Excuse me, pilot. You have a bogey on your 6. Do you
Yeah.
want me to smoke screen?
So in the research I was doing about this whole artificial intelligence and the AI co-pilot thing, is that the goal of it is by no means to replace a human pilot. They don't want to do that because
course.
they want the human factor at play. They want the human dominance because even if AI comes up, if it's going off of just numbers, it may make a choice that would not be morally okay in the moment, and ethically, and like all these other things. There's many different scenarios you could run where that could end really fucking bad if it was in control.
Well, yeah. So let's make an example, right? They give the AI a directive to go bomb a terrorist in a foreign country, and the AI says, "We have a target on him. He's in a children's hospital."
Mhm.
The AI would be like, "My job is to kill him. I'm going to blow that hospital up."
Let's take it a step further. Same outline you just made, but what if he's in the hospital, right? But then they find out, they're in the hospital, but the numbers it's running in its system are going. What if the narrative is something where the AI is aware that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for this clean of a kill,
Correct.
love shot? It would run the numbers going, well, this man may bring 200,000 deaths. What are the lives of the many
1,000
versus the
deaths?
few?
Yep.
And then it just nukes a whole children's hospital with 500 little children in it. That's, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get the AI's logic though. I do. I mean,
Logically, it makes sense.
Like
the math makes
morally,
sense.
it does not.
Correct.
And ethically, it does not in that regard. So I just want to build on it more and give it higher stakes.
Absolutely,
you know what I
right?
mean?
So having the AI be like, "I'm going to finish my mission at all costs," isn't really the best case scenario. So I'm very glad to hear that they're having that human element in there to be like, AI, we shouldn't go nuke children. That's not a good look.
Yeah.
We shouldn't do that.
Basically, it's trying to give the pilots an autonomous wingman.
Can you imagine that argument? I found the beep boop up. I found the terrorists. I'm going to blow them up. But don't do that.
But that's a computer factory. It's my competition.
I'm
shit.
Overriding.
No. But no, in all reality, the point of the autonomy and the artificial intelligence, the AI co-pilots, from what I've been trying to find on it, the point of it is to basically be this autonomous wingman and kind of make it to where you have one pilot up there instead of two, right? And it's supposed to help with unmanned systems operating alongside, the pilot to perform various tasks and like all these different things. So like, for instance, a good example, potentially, this is just me thinking outside the box or thinking about it, is like, okay, if let's say the fighter, that pilot's in a dogfight, right? There's an actual dogfight that's happening. It gets a missile launched at him, right? A heat-seeking missile, rocket, something like that. Well, the pilot doesn't have to deploy the flares, to dissuade that missile and have it not hit him. The AI co-pilot would do it for him in real time.
Yep.
But probably faster than he would,
or
because
most
it's reading the
optimal time.
systems, it's integrated in.
Yep.
So that's just one example I can think of top of my head in a rough scenario.
So Lockheed and Martin
you know.
they refer to the AI co-pilot as the quarterback of the scenario, and it's very funny. But it's like the play caller. It's the quarterback. It sits in it. Gives you all your options. Like we can decide what to do in this scenario. A missile's coming. Do you want me to launch flares now or wait for optimal time? Optimal time, please. Boom, it'll do it. right? So they refer to it as the quarterback, the play caller, the shot caller, if
Yeah.
you will, which is cool.
It's tight.
Yeah, I think it's fucking awesome.
I think it's tight too.
It's also it freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah,
It's like,
it does.
What happens if this pilot dies, has a heart attack, or the AI puts it in the pilot in so much G-force that the pilot can't breathe and control anything, and it just takes over and does whatever the fuck it wants.
No shit. And then one of the other things is that in these features or whatever, because there's a few more. The one that really kind of made me think of the Golden Dome, or one aspect of it, was the quantum networking linkage, right? Because one of the key features of these new next gen fighters is enhanced connectivity and sensor fusion. So we're talking real-time data sharing between aircraft and ground stations and whatever other assets, right? Like a litany of other assets it could be communicating with. Well, if it's doing it apparently instantaneously as it's going. Well, if we have the Golden Dome going and we know about these quantum deals, and that's obviously a next generation technology, right?
Yep.
Well, then that just tells me, like, my brain goes to it. I'm leaning towards thinking that this is same kind of concept, and it's connected in with all that too.
You should pull up
The
the photo of
quantum
the
link.
F-47 for those.
I'm about to, because I was going to go through all the different fighter jets.
Cool.
But you know what? Fuck it. Let's pull up the F-47, because here it is. Behold its glory. God, it looks sick. Looks sick.
It looks so sharp, like
Yeah, it
literally
does.
sharp.
So this is an artist's rendering
Yeah.
of it. And this is the only thing that they released on it, right? I
Yeah.
couldn't find any.
There
actual real-
are a few other artist renderings, but this is the cleanest,
Yeah.
coolest looking one.
You know what I love about it most? America.
I like the smoke. Like it's hot.
Dude, it's getting hot. Dude, it's getting hot. That's a bong, dude. Look at that. It's getting stoned down here.
Dude, it's on a unicycle, brother. It's just...
Well, with all the, since it's AI, the pilot may not even have to really do that much, and that's his bong. The pilot's in there just getting toked up.
The pilot's in there just getting baked down. He's like, whatever, man. Just you want to go bomb something? Go ahead, dude. It's totally fine.
Go bomb something.
Like, well, I've had a hard day of flying. I took about 5 Gs today. I'm gonna go rip this bubbler. You get me one as well, yeah?
Yeah, I got you. Anyways,
Well, I hope everybody out there's having a wonderful day, though. I know we begin sidetracked and goofing off a little bit, but this technology is very serious, obviously. This technology will save lives, and it will also
take lives.
It will definitely take lives, that's for sure. It will create us a more dominant society as well. I know a lot of individuals like, we shouldn't be the dominant force. Well, I used to be like that, but you know what? We are the dominant force. People look to us for safety. We used to pay a lot of money to keep these people safe.
Yeah.
We used to pay them to keep them safe. Imagine that,
Makes
right?
sense, right?
Imagine that. Imagine going to your grocery store and your grocery store pays you to take groceries. That's not how that works. If you want defense and safety, you should be able to pay us. And that's where this is all going. You want to be a part of the Golden Dome? Okay. Pay us. Join the club.
Mm-hmm.
And you may say, hey, that's the mafia. Well, guess fucking what? It's been the mafia all along.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Freaking
You know what I'm
mafia.
saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know words.
They mean things.
They mean things. Now, the next, I'm just going to say these two key features and just be done with it, with this part. So the next is directed energy weapons, laser systems. Yep, and microwave weapons.
That's right, brother.
Oh, geez. Microwave weapons. We've
Where-
talked about
where
that
have we
numerous
heard
times.
that before?
Oh, you mean how they created microwave weapons and directed energy weapons as literally, what kicked it all off was Project Pandora,
Yeah.
which I love how everyone goes, MK Ultra. Nah, this is the grandfather program, guys. Do more homework.
Ain't no Diddy.
It goes
That's
way
right,
back,
no
and
Diddy.
we've talked about it. Yeah, dude. But no, straight up, the directed energy weapon, microwave weapons, we already know they have patents for them, all that stuff. The original ones and everything, they go back to the early 50s, late 40s. It was, I want to say it was like I could be. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe 1948. But worst comes to worst, it was like 1952 or 1953 is when everything in those documents that we went
Are you
through.
talking about the
Directed energy weapons.
Yeah,
microwave
that
weapons.
was for.
They patented it all the way back to there, to that time.
It's like MK Delta, right?
No, we're talking Project Pandora. That's where they first created them, right?
For the Havana syndrome and shit.
Yeah, but that had to do with the Cold War stuff, all that fun stuff. Oh, there is a Cody just to put a comment in here. It's on a serious note. Have you noticed that that the microwave plate has the same symbol as the radiation symbol?
You know what he's talking about?
Yeah.
So that glass plate in your microwave, you flip it over, it has the literal radiation sign on it.
Yeah. That's because microwaves are really fucking bad for you. When you put your food in there, just as a PSA to anyone, don't microwave your fucking food. And if you have to, do it in a glass like container or plate. Don't be doing it with fucking plastics. There's a reason why cancer is skyrocketed over the past so many years.
And it's not just the mRNA vaccines.
Yeah, it's not just that. Don't know, the mRNA vaccines are a part of it too. They contribute, but everyone having a fucking microwave in their home for the past 30 fucking years and the rise of cancer out the ass.
How many of you put styrofoam in the microwave? That is awful.
Dude, anyone who puts styrofoam in the microwave, they deserve to get cancer at this point.
I mean, I'm telling you, brother.
Like, don't get me wrong, I understand plastics. You can be dumb. I was dumb too. But I was never dumb enough to put styrofoam.
No, God, no.
No. That's bad. Anyways, enough on the microwave.
Thank you for derailing us, Cody.
Yeah, Cody.
It wasn't us. It wasn't us this time. It was you. So
it was you.
I appreciate
you should
that.
Feel bad.
You should feel great. Contradicting concepts.
I love it, dude. All right, so the last is advanced propulsion systems. So
what?
Advanced propulsion systems.
There we go.
Sorry if I messed that up.
Wouldn't be smartly uneducated if we didn't mess up some words.
Ain't that the fucking truth? But yeah, so variable cycle engines, super cruise capabilities, and we're talking like sustained supersonic flight without any afterburners. I don't know what those propulsion systems really look like. If it's anything like the TR-3B, that's for some reverse engineered tech, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, we have all seen the documents and the disclosed CIA files about the TR-3B. And if they're naming the F-35 the TR-3, does that not ring some bells here? Because if they're naming it a pseudo name, the TR-3B, that means they're taking the technology from the TR-3B and putting it in the fucking F-35.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, we don't have that technology, but we're gonna name it after the thing that people are seeing all over the planet.
I know this may be hit or miss for some people, but like on the naming, like TR-3B, and you're talking about the F-35, how the 3, right?
Well, no, yeah, they're naming the F-35 F-35 TR-3. That's what it's called now.
Well, the thing is that when there's a number 3, if there's a number in there, so you got TR-1, TR-2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. It's much like if you think of like naming in a file system of like architecture.
Where's the TR-3A? Where's the TR-3C?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It makes me wonder if this is the 3rd generation of trials.
Absolutely,
and it was 100% fucking successful. Yep. Or maybe TR-3A was the first step, and they proved it would work, and then 3B is the one with all the kinks worked out, all flown through. So
and then TR-3C will be the alpha version out for the world to see to be used.
Yeah, dude. TR-3B Charlie.
Yeah.
Let's go, Chuck. TR-3B Chuck.
Wait.
So no,
that's the TR-3BC?
It's self-aware. It doesn't like that I called it Chuck.
Much like
there
I don't
goes
like
my house. Zap.
Much like I don't like you calling me Bill. Greg.
Sorry, William. Anyway.
All right, Greg.
Oh no.
Yeah, see how it feels, dude? You didn't call me Bill this time, so
it's
I
Gregory.
condone you.
Get it the fuck right.
It's Billiam, all right?
Oh yeah, dude. Billiam, Helium, Killiam. Anyways,
and we're gonna kill you some of the people with these F-35s, F-47s. I'll tell you what, big dog.
So let's move on from it. So let's talk about the different. So there's different developmental, what would be this way to put it? Like global development programs, you could say, right? One, let's just start with the United States, the NGAD, Next Generation Air Dominance, guys.
I briefly mentioned that a moment ago.
Which is the F-47.
Yep.
fighter jet, which we already showed you that lovely
Well, they're
picture.
putting INGAD into the F-35 TR-3.
Oh, dude. It's a hybrid, dude. It's a hybrid model.
That's what I'm saying.
It's trans. It can go both ways, dude. Cheers it, dude. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah.
Now that's called comedy.
Hell yeah, dude. But we also have the United Kingdom. Before I move away from the F-47. So it is also collaborative combat aircraft, so CCA. So unmanned systems operate in conjunction with manned platforms, in conjunction with them and all that stuff. So United Kingdom, Italy, and Japan, which is the Global Combat Air Program. It's PROGRAMME. Programme. Where's my spaghetti?
That's it.
Don't touch my spaghetti. Anyways, or also known as GCAP. Where's one that's gonna just have the acronyms for G Spot? That would be fucking hilarious. I am here for it.
I'm a big fan of how Elon and the Congress are naming these bills recently. They have Big Balls is one of them. Hysterical. They have one that's called Pelosi, which is banning insider trading within the government. So they named it Pelosi. Fucking brilliant. When are they going to make them like sexy dude?
Well, you already did that with the Tesla, Model
Yeah, but
S,
I want a government bill that's like penis.
Erectile dysfunction.
So they have to say that on the Senate floor. We passed penis bill.
Hell yeah, dude. Penises, you get a penis. I get a penis. Wait,
I think that'd be hysterical.
Oh, I thought Oprah was getting involved in that shit.
Just keep making fun of the government, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So the Tempest fighter jet, that is what GCAP or GCAP has been creating. It is a joint initiative focusing on AI, advanced sensors, and network centric warfare. I will get a picture up for you guys to see here in a second. But before I show that one, I'm going to show the Chinese, also known, or it's part of the White Emperor programs.
Mm-hmm.
It's the J-36. It's a tailless stealth fighter with advanced avionics and potential space operation capabilities.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Tailless? The Chengdu? Whoa, this thing's cool looking. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, so here it is right here. I got a picture of it. This is the J-36 compared to the J-50. So the J-50, this is just the image. There's not really any official images.
This looks like a UFO.
The J-36?
Like full on. It looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, we're all moving into that thing. But I noticed something very interesting about this photo. So if you look at the tail, how it at the bottom of this triangle shape right here where I'm moving my mouse, there's like little slits, right? And you see
independent moving, I guess.
Well, supposedly one of the things I came across by the J-36 is that its metal can change shape too.
I believe it.
So that just tells me that the technology going into these and this one too is no different for the most part. It's got a lot of same core concepts of capabilities because, it's right there. And don't get me wrong, that's a still image and it's obviously been fabricated and drawn out a little bit.
Look at that J-50 though next to it.
Yeah, the J-50 looks interesting. That looks like that thing we've seen in space rotating.
Mm-hmm. The Black Knight satellite.
Holy shit. Yeah, it looks like that thing. Holy fuck, what if that's what we've been seeing in the videos? And it's really just a fucking J-50 up there or a version
or something of that type,
something,
right?
a variation of it. Holy shit. Your brain went to there right when mine was. It was like 1 second off.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a little while.
And this is the first time I've seen the J-50.
Yeah,
I've never seen it before.
I've seen the J-36 and the J-50, but they look identical to a UFOs.
That's wild.
I mean, even from like the side angle, whenever you look at a UFO and you see it and you're looking at it and you're like, it's so skinny and thin and it's rounded up top.
Yeah, dude, no one likes that kind of piece.
The side angle of the J-36 looks like a UFO, and I breezed past your joke because it was stupid. It was a stupid joke, dude. It was not funny. Dude. It was a stupid joke.
It was a stupid joke, but it's okay. But no, it's really wild.
So I'm excited to see with this sort of tailless technology that comes out, what America's going to be able to create with the
I don't know.
F-47, because we don't know what the F-47 looks like in the butt.
I wonder if the J-50.
That was not a stupid joke. I'm just
That's a dumb joke.
that's just me talking.
But no, I wonder what the. So if you know what we're talking about that thing rotating in orbit that's got this really weird shape. It looks like there's a cockpit on it and everything. Emphasis on cock. There's another bad joke.
Y'all, I gotta leave. This
So,
sucks.
the
I
J-
hate being here.
But the J-50 obviously doesn't resemble that completely, because when you see that thing rotating in the video of what they have of it from that satellite, it's not that exact design, but it is very similar. So when we were saying like the whole variation, some type of variation of the J-50 or something similar, something, but it aligns with it a little bit, and
It's
especially if
something,
it's
that's for
supposed to
sure.
have space operation capabilities.
Okay, so they have
Interesting.
new photos of the J-47 that have released. And
J-47? Or
Yeah.
Not J-50.
J-47. And it has no tail, much like the J-36. I just did a cursory little search for it, and I typed in new photos of the J-47, and it pulled up awesome photos, dude. It looks really cool.
I am looking for images real quick because I meant to show
So
the
let's
Tempest
see.
6th Gen fighter. So this is like what it
That's
looks
the
like.
Tempest, right?
Yeah, I meant to show this earlier. Let me pop this on there.
That's conceptual, though.
This is conceptual,
Yeah.
right? But this is the one that GCAP is making, the Global Combat Air Programme, United Kingdom, Italy, and Japan. This is their joint initiative aircraft for their next 6th Gen fighter. This is it right here. It's cool looking. It's cool looking. It's got nothing on the F-47 though, dude. That just looks mean. It's like a shark in the water, dude, swimming at you through the dark, and you're just seeing part of its
Yeah,
face.
I'm gonna post this in chat. You
Oh,
should open
yeah.
it up.
Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah,
so
click that link.
I'll click that link. I'm gonna switch it back over to you while I do it.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, and it went to the wrong thing.
No, Dan, that's the correct thing.
I know. I need to put it over here though. No. There we go. All right, where do you want me to go on there?
Scroll down a little bit, would you?
All right, let's go.
Oh God, there it is. Yeah. So keep going, right there. So that's what it looks like. That's the another Lockheed and Martin's photo that they have generated of what it's gonna look like.
Oh, of the F-47?
Yeah.
Dude, sick.
Right.
That's so
And if
sick.
you keep going down, there's more photos that DARPA has also released and Boeing released.
Oh, that's tight.
So go down a little bit more. Right there. That's the one that Boeing has released of what it's going to look like. So it's also tailless. So you need to immediately think that it's going to be able to.
Dude, if it's tailless, something just tells me if it's tailless, it's going to have a propulsion system in there that allows them to do things that are not the aerodynamic norms by any means.
Absolutely right.
This is the propulsion system where you have gravity, either artificial gravity manipulation or whatever, something, fusion, whatever it is. I don't know, but just looking at that thing, you can see it.
And they're being built relatively inexpensive. So if you keep scrolling, there's a bunch of photos on the site about this thing. So they're being built.
That one's got a heart on.
It's being built for like $300 million as compared to what fighter jets used to cost, which were like twice that amount. Some of them were like $1 billion.
Wow. Look at these bad boys, dude. It's so sick.
Yeah, so
That one looks like a turtle, kind of.
this looks like a missile.
Oh, sea turtle. Imagine it. It's because the way they did the.
It's because of the shell,
Top.
right? The shell.
Yeah.
I mean, they base technology off of animals quite frequently. There's a few jets that we have that are literally just hawks, just like the red hawk. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm excited for what our technology is going to be here in the next 10 years. By the time I'm a 60-year-old man, it's going to be hard to imagine what they're offering to us.
Yeah. This is where is it? I think this is the MiG 41.
Yeah, that's the MiG.
Yeah. So this right here, supposedly, is the MiG 41 stealth
That's
fighter
the Russian
jet
one.
from Russia. It's the PAC DP MiG 41. It's supposed to be, it's like this high-speed interceptor aimed at replacing the MiG-31, focusing on speed, altitude, and advanced weaponry. You're behind the curve, my brothers.
So what's cooler than
Everyone
jets,
else
dude?
is going into this like crazy other level, and they're like, yeah, we're just making it better than MiG-31.
We've got the big plane. That's Sweden.
Yeah, that's it right here. Interesting. Sorry. I switched it back to you.
We have got the big plane. You've got the plane. We've got the plane too. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's a few things that really get me going, and one of them's fucking jets. Are
Yeah,
you
I
kidding
know.
me? There's a few things in the world that men love. One of them's jets. Ladies, listen here. If your man's upset, show him some photos of some jets. Put on a jet documentary on the TV. They're gonna love you. They're gonna think it's the best night ever.
Yeah, no
I know I'm
shit.
one of them. Put on a documentary based upon the fighter jets in World War II. I'm gonna be watching that for the rest of the evening.
Well, I'm gonna list off, since we're talking about next gen technology, right?
Yeah, Nixon, you said?
Yeah, yeah, Nixon. So autonomous combat swarms,
Oh, dude. Okay.
drone swarms that act as unified, like decentralized.
Did you
force.
see China's mothership they announced?
Yes, I did. I saw that.
That thing's cool as fuck.
It is very cool.
Scary.
I won't bring that up now because you're touching it now. Sorry, it's in my list.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Like, it's a skyscraper in the sky that has thousands of drones that just funnel out of it at any given moment.
Yeah.
Now,
And we're not talking about those drones you're seeing in the Russian and Ukraine war where it's like a Honda motor.
no.
No, we're talking actual, real
With
advanced
wings.
shit like the size of a car.
Yes, that will
Yeah.
fly in
Whoa,
kamikaze.
New Jersey drone crisis.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
Somebody was playing some experimentation, just
That's exactly
testing some
right.
shit. Yep.
So that thing is crazy and scary looking in concept and in reality. But now that we have this golden dome that apparently is new, I'm not so worried about it because we're gonna have a bunch of microwave radio systems that are gonna be taking down these drones on a regular basis. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
No, you just keep talking.
I'm excited for what's gonna happen. The fear is, I think there was a guy, Mass Expedition, who I was talking to recently about this, and he comes from experience in the armed forces. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. And his take on the mothership drone. I'm just going to his X really quick about the mothership drone. He brought it up. Bear with me every moment, everybody, because it came to my mind, and I want to grab it and talk about it really quick. See if I can find it.
Well, while you're looking that up, I'm gonna read off a couple of things here. So here's two example systems of the autonomous combat swarms.
Oh, here's the F-55. Have you seen that yet?
I gotta finish this. So the autonomous combat swarms. Here's two examples of it. DARPA's offensive swarm-enabled tactics, or also known as offset. I don't know if you ever heard about that.
I have not.
Yep, and then China's GJ-11 AI stealth drone systems. And I know you were just talking about the other deal. You also have hypersonic glide vehicles, not missiles,
Glide
vehicles, HGVs. So basically missile payloads that travel at Mach 5 plus, maneuvering during descent to evade defensive systems. It will fly itself to be in a position to avoid being detected, which is wild. So like the notable programs in that is you have the US AGM 183A, or ARRW, which is the Air Launch Rapid Response Weapon. You got Russia's Avangard, you got China's DFZF. And then like kind of like the using these things, like what case are we using them in? It's like defeating missile shields, precision nuclear delivery, global rapid strike. That's the whole point of the HGVs.
So I found my tweet that I wanted to read. So this comes from a fan of the show and a friend of mine, I like to say, is Max Expedition over there on X. Go check him out. He said about the China's aerial mothership, the Jujitan SS UAV. It's scheduled for its maiden flight in June. He says the same people who are incessantly reminding you of the KC-135's aircraft carriers are strategic relics in the coming war. These will soy face at a giant flying critical vulnerability platform. He's saying, you think our aircraft carriers are advanced? good fucking luck.
Mm-hmm. It's tight.
He knows a lot about warfare and these things. This is what he posts about on a regular basis. So go check him out. He's got some really cool stuff in there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, go check him out, guys. Now, I'm going to move on to the other kind of 6th gen technology that we got going on. I just did the HGVs. Quantum radar and quantum communication. Why that is even listed in this is for one really big reason. So, quantum radar can detect stealth craft. You want to know how?
Yeah, sure. Tell me.
It can detect stealth craft by using entangled photons. It's using photons entanglement to detect craft.
Damn.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And then you got quantum key distribution, or also known as QKD, which is secure satellite communication immune to interception.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. I was trying to find more on that, but I was stuck looking into all the other stuff. So
That's scary.
But I made sure to make a note of it and list it.
It's using photons to track things.
So
Holy
like China's Mykius satellite
I don't know.
already demonstrates this tech. It demonstrates it. It's not full blown this level, but it's very close. Very interesting. Then you've got CEWs, or cognitive electronic warfare. Yeah, dude. Basically disrupts what it is. It's AI enabled jamming and signal interception systems that can learn and adapt in real time.
Oh, hell no.
Auto tune.
Hell no.
On Evan right now.
That sounds awful, bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I am not excited for
Basically,
war.
what it does is that it disrupts enemy communications based on signal behavior. It will cloak friendly units by mimicking enemy comms. And then it says dynamically redirect targeting systems. So, for instance, like programs like U.S. Navy's NGJ, Next Gen Jammer, DARPA's Convergent EA Tech, or CONET.
So,
I don't know.
that is scary to me up front. It freaks me the fuck out, to be straight up honest. But how much of this is posture checking? Like, yeah, you have the Iron Dome. Well, you have the Gold Dome. We have all this cool stuff. Look what we got. We can jam all your communications.
Yep.
I mean, who's to say that's real?
Yeah. No shit. This one's gonna freak you out even more.
Okay, yeah.
Space-based kinetic and directed
Nope,
energy platforms.
I'm out.
Yeah. No, run, dude, run. So we're talking rods from God, which is tungsten kinetic energy projectiles dropped from space.
I got a God rod for you, baby.
Yeah, dude. No, hell yeah, brother. Let's go. And then you got the DEWs, direct energy weapons, lasers, microwave, and plasma weapons for anti-satellite warfare. So I was trying to find out what really exists currently, if there's anything publicly announced. The only thing I could find that was public was prototypes. The prototypes exist. For sure, without a doubt. I guarantee they already exist.
Yeah, I mean, the prototypes.
I heard about the rods from God like 10 years ago.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
On some conspiracy podcast, or not even a podcast, it was some conspiracy show
This
or something.
tungsten steel telephone poles.
That was 10 years ago. I knew about the literally the rods from God, and they talked about, they said tungsten kinetic, projectiles that were dropping from space. And they were like, no, it's real. And then people were giving them shit for it, for making things up. And they're like, no, well, I have a person who told me he works there and does this. He worked for some private contractor.
Because
and look how, behold, it's real.
The space war sort of treaty that was written was no nuclear weapons in space. They didn't say anything about laser beams or tungsten rods or anything like that.
He shot laser beams from his eyes and picked me up and shook me like a dog.
What's that from?
Monsters Inc.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry. So, and then you've got like smart battlefield networks. I'm just gonna breathe through these because we're running out of time. We got to close out here shortly. But you've got smart battlefield networks, which is fully AI coordinated command and control systems, also known as C2, that literally allocate resources dynamically. Basically, like, to summarize, assign drones, troops, cyber units based on predictive threat analysis, operates on mesh networks that adapt in real time if jammed or destroyed. Sounds to me like it's all quantum networking.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing we talked about in the Golden Dome. Just take that and apply it here, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be integrated into all the next gen, the 6th generation warfare and technology. Bio-identification via scent, sweat, or neural pattern. Oh, sorry, I jumped ahead in my notes. Sorry, I read the wrong one. That was the next one. That's gonna freak you guys out. But it does. So in smart battlefield networks, it does integrate human decision making only at key moments. Only at key moments, apparently. So example: U.S. Project Maven or JAIC, Joint Artificial Intelligence Center. My next one is biotech and neural warfare.
Yeah, well, duh.
Yep. So basically military experimentation with human augmentation and brain machine interfacing. So we're talking Neuralink drone or weapon control, cognitive enhancement pills, and anti-sleep drugs. We're talking bioidentification via scent, sweat, or neural pattern.
Anti-sleep?
Yeah, that's what it said.
Didn't the Nazis do that with meth? And
They did I feel like we did that good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Anyway, yeah. So, like, for instance, DARPA's N3, Next Generation Non-Surgical Neurotechnology, and DARPA subnets.
damn.
Yeah, we already knew DARPA was doing shit with the brain and all that crap
Absolutely.
a long time ago.
Well, we knew that with their injections they were creating to mimic limbs missing.
And the Human Brain Project
Absolutely.
itself in general.
Yeah.
There's a reason that was put in place. There was things they were getting from that.
Go check out our episode
Yeah.
on the Human Brain Project. We
Yep.
did a whole 2-hour segment on it, so go check it out.
Yeah. Now the portable. I'm just gonna. I got two left. Cool. Portable directed energy defense systems. So we're talking about swarm defense, like drone kills, things like that. Urban anti IEDs, disabling
That's good.
optics or sensors or enemy equipment or on enemy equipment. So. An example of that is Lockheed's Athena laser system or Raytheon's HELWS, HELWS.
That's the centralized, localized EMP like rays they can shoot.
Yeah,
So
it's tight.
it's fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Instead of just blowing an EMP over an entire village, they can localize it on one house or one street. Much
Yeah.
like the radio waves that the microwave weapons they can shoot across
Mm-hmm.
the cities.
Now, this is my last one, and that's cyber physical weapons.
Cyber physical.
So we're talking AI-driven cyber attacks that physically destroy infrastructure through digital ways, concepts. Not even a concept, just different ways, means of doing it. So, for instance, like SCADA systems, SCADA, in power grids, overload it, cause physical destruction, wipe out a power grid.
That's
You got water supplies because they're all being
You
controlled
know
by
what?
technology.
I am so
military launch controls on industrial plants.
I am so happy I'm
Dude.
not in charge of this stuff.
Oh, dude, I'd be playing with it all the time.
No, I mean like
Wait,
in charge of having to counter them. Like, hey, they have this technology that can launch our nukes. How do we counter that?
No
clue. Turn them off. Oh, they can turn them on with their AI quantum capability.
Mm.
How do we combat that? Jammers. Oh, they have those too.
go back to the Stone Age, guys.
Yeah.
They can't do shit to us.
It's scary times. It's a lot of, hey, you want to be friends still? We're still cool, right? We're still cool.
Yeah, well, here's a good example. So, this is about to get a little real for you guys.
Too real.
So, here are some. What is going on with my view? It just went black. Anyways, real world examples of these types of cyber physical weapons. You got Stuxnet, which is like, or a precursor. I didn't get a chance to pull information, but I'm at least saying it to list it out. So people, if anyone's listening right now, you can go look that up. I just didn't get a chance to pull up the info on it. But then you got Russia's cyber ops in Ukraine, 2022 through present, right? Well, remember how SCADA, I mentioned the SCADA systems and power grids, right? And they said that someone blew up that oil line in Russia, right? And they were
Absolutely.
trying to say Russia blew up their own oil, which Russia didn't do that. Someone else did. I'm wondering if one of these cyber physical weapons, because the oil system that hub that got blown up was integrated in with technology, like with actual networkings, because they were controlling it through, opening this valve, closing this valve, doing this, doing that. Like it was all automated in a lot of ways, like certain parts of it. And it makes me wonder, since no one knew who did it, right? And they tried to blame it on Russia for blowing up their own thing. it makes you wonder, was something like this used over there? Potentially?
Yeah.
You know, I
say
don't know.
yes.
I know that's me really throwing something out there, and it's out of left field a little bit to some people. But at the same time, this is the kind of mindset you have to have, or viewpoint. You have to entertain any possibility. You have to be objective and constantly question and also pose a question. You know, because we've already found out that about certain attacks and certain things that have happened was done by technology that supposedly didn't exist from a network that was way over here.
That's right.
Like, yeah. So, and then of course, the last real world example I have is the U.S. Cyber Command, or Persistent Engagement Policy. So, anyways, that's all I got, guys. Anyways, that's the last little bit. I've got nothing else.
I got nothing else either.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we're probably gonna come back to this stuff.
I mean, we'll probably keep bringing it up as we get more and more technology and more info about it, right?
I was just thinking, like, as a podcast, and anyways, like, just in our episodes, we're randomly gonna be dropping updates about this stuff.
Of course, yeah, this is badass.
Because there's like the ones I was just listing that I didn't give a whole lot of detail on. I literally plan on going and looking those things up and actually pulling the information.
But also,
and going
there's some of them that are so new that there isn't a lot of information.
Yeah, it's not publicly disclosed and all that crap.
So
conspiracy theorists of Reddit, let's go.
Once more comes out, we'll be able to tackle it a little bit harder and a little bit more in depth.
One thing you can take away, you know, if you're going to take away anything, since we're closing out, are you ready to close out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. If you're going to take anything away from this episode, basically, America's fucking awesome. And we're number one, guys. If you're not gonna,
what your takeaway was?
Hell yeah, dude, we got the most advanced shit going on. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not gonna root for the home team, get the fuck out of the stadium. Right? You know?
I mean, if that's how you want to live it, absolutely.
Well, I mean, dude, I'm just saying, if you're not gonna root for the home team, get the fuck out of here, man. If you're a local in that town, but in the United States, you live here, you better root for the home team, bro.
Even if they're killing.
Yeah. I never said anything about that. I have blinders.
What if they're doing
on.
bad stuff? You still root for them?
Well, not in that regard, but I'm talking about for keeping my ass safe here, and I don't have to worry about people blowing me up here, and we become a second world country or a war-torn country on that physical scale. Fuck yeah. Fuck everyone else. I'm good. My kids are safe. That's all that fucking matters. Because I can guarantee you, all those people that you want to save that live overseas, they wouldn't fucking give you the shirt off their fucking back to save your ass if you were in peril.
Think so?
Yeah. I think, I'm doing wrong. That's not everyone on the planet, but I'm thinking as a whole, like a majority. I think the majority would be like, no, we got to worry about our stuff here. We got to worry about my kids and this person, this. Yeah. No, they wouldn't give a fuck about you if that was the situation. No. No one gives us money. We give everyone money. Follow the money. It doesn't lie. Money doesn't lie.
Hey, that was my argument earlier.
It doesn't. I know. That's why we're friends. We pay each other a lot of money to do a podcast together. Which means I pay you $500 an episode and you pay me. It means money never even has to get exchanged.
It's just 0 to 0, baby.
It's 0 to 0, baby. That's how we roll, dude.
Nil.
See, you either root for the home team or get the fuck out of the stadium.
I gotta get the fuck out of the stadium.
Anyways, we gotta go. You guys, thank you for tuning in. You want to say goodbye, Evan?
Hasta luego. See you later.
Yeah, that's French. No, it's not.